Google lied to us. At least that's the headline everybody's been talking about in the past week or so. Google launched something called Gemini. It's their next evolution of their large language model that's powering things like Bard, a bunch of their APIs and applications on the back end. They showed some really impressive demos. I'll admit, when I saw this video, I was particularly impressed. It shows a number of different interactions using video and what seems to be Gemini responding in near real time and actually talking to the person as if they were just having a conversation. What do these drums do? What am I doing with my hands? Is this a blue duck? All of these really mind-blowing things. I even said the equivalent to the moon landing just happened again with AI, and most people don't understand the implication. And unfortunately, that wasn't the full story. Turns out there was a lot of prompting going on in the back end. As you can see here, it wasn't just showing live video to Gemini and getting a response back. It would actually pause frames of the video, send that along with a prompt saying something like, tell me what you see. What do you think I'm doing? Hint, it's a game. Gemini did still use logic and reasoning to come up with the answers here. You're playing rock, paper, scissors. And on the logic puzzles, similar things. Here's a still image. Is this in the right order? Consider the distance from the sun and explain your reasoning. No, the correct order is the sun, Earth, Saturn. The sun is the closest to the center of the solar system, followed by the Earth and then Saturn. So yes, I think we should be a little bit upset about this because it seemed like these were all real-time video-based multimodal responses from the LLM, and they weren't. That's a little bit disappointing, but taking that aside, this is still really impressive. The level of logic and reasoning from this model is still pretty cutting edge. And as someone that's worked at tech companies for over 20 years, I've never really seen a tech demo that wasn't highly curated to show you just the best responses that could possibly come back. So then let's look at this through the lens of what it actually is and kind of tear back some of those layers a little bit more. Gemini is built from the ground up for multimodality. This is similar to GPT-4 Vision. This means that you can not only prompt it with things like text, but also images, video, audio, even code snippets. That puts Google more on par with ChatGPT and GPT-4 Vision than it previously was with models like Bard. On the capabilities front, it puts out some really impressive scores. One thing to note here is that this is using Gemini Ultra. We'll talk about that just in a minute. Gemini Ultra isn't actually available yet, and it's not what's powering Bard. There's sort of a three-tier approach that they've taken to this model, and it's also comparing against GPT-4, a slightly older version. This is GPT before it was GPT-4 Turbo, which is currently what's powering ChatGPT if you use it publicly. Even still, it does stack up favorably against it. It either matches or beats it in almost every single test that they have here. And when you look at the multimodal aspects, this is actually ChatGPT-4 Vision. It seems like the Gemini model, again, the large model, seems to beat it in almost every test as well. So what's Google going for here? What's their overall strategy? Well, they've got three different sizes of the model. Nano, which actually something that can run on device. This is going to be what's running on things like cell phones in the future. And I think it's going to be really compelling and competitive in the marketplace for that. You've got the Pro model, which currently is what's powering Bard. If you go to the version that's running on the web now, this is running the Pro version of the Gemini LLM. And then finally, you've got Ultra. This is for highly complex tasks. This is multimodal. It's slightly better than GPT-4 in a number of benchmarks that they've shown. No one has actually used this yet because it's still kind of a beta preview internally. This is going to be released sometime in Q1 of next year. And so we'll kind of hold judgment until we can see how it actually performs in real life. If we stop and pause and think about where we were just 6 or 12 months ago, this is still pretty mind-blowing. The fact that you've got these multimodal models that can understand text and speech and vision, it's really leading the way and paving the path forward to a world where we have advanced robotics, robots that are actually able to walk into a house or walk into a room and understand the context of everything that's going on around them without additional input. And I think that's probably the most exciting part of all these large language models and the multimodal models like GPT-4 Vision and now Gemini, is that it really allows us to finally live in a world with actual compelling robots. We're not quite there yet, but I guarantee in the next few years, we're gonna see some really amazing stuff come from these labs. So where are we going with all this? Well, if you stop and think about it, the way most websites on the internet receive traffic is from search engines, places like Google and Bing. That's gonna change. Most people, I think, in the next couple years are going to start interacting with large language models, AI chat assistants, either within their house on things like their Amazon devices or through their phone. Gone will be the days where you're sitting on the web actually performing searches and getting back lists of websites that you then have to visit and individually check out. Most of the information is just going to be given to us. They're not going to be search engines, they're going to become answer engines or AI assistants. And that's sort of an existential threat to Google itself. If you think about it, Google is really an advertising company. They make almost all of their revenue from Google ads on the sidebar of all the search results pages, and ads on the websites that they drive traffic to. That's going to go away. And so Google's business model going forward, I think, is going to be powering AI. They're going to be powering robotics. They're going to be powering large language models. They're going to be powering the AI devices that are spread all over the world. Everything that's powered by Android is going to be running a Gemini Nano model on it. So we're going to get to this place where they're really just building and training these large language models in their own data centers and then distributing those via API access to millions of different applications. They're going to use those in hopefully novel ways. So then how mad should we really be at Google here? Like I said, I've worked in tech my entire career, and one thing I know for certain is every company sort of does this on the back end, honestly. But what we're seeing is some really cutting edge reasoning and logic coming from these large language models. I have no doubt that Google is going to bring something really compelling to the market. I also know that Google's aware that they're behind in this game. OpenAI is the clear leader here. I don't think anyone else is coming close to touching them at this point. And so Google's doing everything they can to keep up and hopefully catch up and maybe even outpace. One advantage that Google might have here is the fact that they actually have their own hardware, their own TPUs that are used to train these large language models. Everyone else in the industry has to use NVIDIA GPUs. H100s, the H200s, they're incredibly difficult to get a hold of, and that's the bottleneck for everyone else in the industry. So if Google can come out and they can really train their own models on their own hardware, they might just stand a chance of catching up. That remains to be seen because we haven't seen it yet. And the current iteration of Gemini that's live on Bard, I'd put maybe on par with GPT 3.5. It's definitely not a GPT 4 killer, at least in the testing that I've done. But I'll be curious to see how their Ultra model performs when it's eventually released sometime next year. If you want to learn more about it when it is released, definitely hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out. I'm Brian Lovett. This is All Your Tech AI. We'll catch you next time.